Today we are going to have a book talk about books that are similar to The Promised Neverland. I have 3 books we're going to share today. One is going to be Scythe, the second one is going to be The Maze Runner, and the third and final book is going to be Displacement. The first book I want to talk about today is Scythe. Scythe is a great connection to this book for many of reasons. Give me 1 second, I'm trying to get my notes back up. Okay, cool. Scythe is really connectable to The Promised Neverland for a couple different reasons. If you really enjoyed reading The Promised Neverland because it talks about the value of life, Scythe is your next book. Scythe is a little bit longer than The Promised Neverland, and it's written in chapter format, but it's a really quick and fast-paced read, and 10 out of 10. Anyway, Scythe is a book about how in the world there is no more hunger, there's no more disease, there's no more misery. Humanity has fixed it all. The only problem is that now no one dies. So a position called the Scythe has become a new job. Their job is to go out into the world and kill the people who would have died. The story follows 2 main characters. It follows Citra and Rowan. The problem is neither one of them want to be a Scythe. So as they begin learning how to kill, so that way they're not killed, they begin to question what life, the value of life is, and how much they value life, and what they're willing to give up for that. Strong, connectable things to The Promised Neverland. The second book I want to share with you today is The Maze Runner. The Maze Runner is a perfect connection if you like the idea of being trapped in an enclosed space, but you want to find a way out. So this book begins with Thomas. Thomas wakes up in a lift, and he doesn't know why he's there. When he tries to think back to his past, he can't remember anything. The lift comes up, and he is surrounded by a group of boys. The next problem is none of them can remember their past either. They don't even know how long they've been there. They've all been coming at different times. Anyway, once he gets up all the way up there and he talks to the boys and introduces himself and gets a vague understanding of what's going on, he looks around, and around him there's these tall giant walls surrounding him, and there's no way to get out. The only thing that the group of boys have figured out is the fact that the maze opens up and they're able to go into the maze, or what they have figured out as a maze, basically through the walls. But they must get back to their side, their safety net, before sun goes down, or they will not survive. So this book is really about the fact that finding a way to get outside your zone. And The Promised Neverland, that's a huge focus of the book. The children are trying to get outside their enclosed space. Same type of vibes there. The last book I want to talk about is Displacement. I don't have a physical book of Displacement, but it's a graphic novel. If you like the manga style, the comic book style of The Promised Neverland, Displacement is your next book. Very similar vibes about the fact that not having control over your life. In Displacement, the book follows Kiku and her mother as they go and visit their grandmother. Suddenly, Kiku is transported back in time, and she begins to live out what her grandmother would have experienced in a Japanese internment camp. While she's there, Kiku doesn't have any idea when she is going to come and go. But when she's there, she doesn't know how long she's going to be there. So the book begins to help her understand of how important control is over her own life. And the longer she's there, the longer she begins to question if she's going to be able to leave and how long it's going to take. So of the 3 books, first book that is the closest is definitely Displacement, graphic novel, lack of control. The second of these books, if you really want to go with the being enclosed in space, The Maze Runner, this is in a series, very quick read again. And then my third and final one is Scythe, also series, thriller, great books all around.